Hello everybody, Kirk with Calorie School, here to get into the nitty-gritty of weight loss, and that is lowering your calorie intake. Of course, that's the number one thing. You'll hear lots of ideas about quick fixes and exercise tips to lose weight, but really when it all comes down to it, it's about lowering calories, and I think most people understand that. It gets a little mixed up because all of these things can help, whether it's even a quick fix. Sure, you can use that to gain a little bit of advantage on losing some weight for a little while, but you have to have a long-term strategy, and lowering your calorie intake in general is going to be the way to do it. But how many calories? Tell me, how many calories do I need to eat to lose weight, right? It's not the same for everybody, and I actually am going to pull something up here, and I'm going to show you kind of generally, men and women, and depending on your activity level, what kind of calorie requirements that you might have. But before we get into how many calories you can eat or should eat, the one thing you want to do is, how do you look at food? When you think about going to get a burger or whatever it is, let's just use a hamburger as an example, whether it's McDonald's or you're going to a fancy restaurant. What do you think of when you think of that burger? Do you think of the juices in the meat? Do you think of the bun and, the little seeds on the outside of the bun? Do you hope that you get something like that? Do you have tons of vegetables in there, sauce? What about like the French fries on the side? Is that what you want, or a salad? And not only that, the meal itself, what are you going to have to drink? Like, what is going on in your head when you think about, I'm going to eat? Do you love the idea of going to a specific place to eat? Do you love the idea of being around friends and nibbling? And we're talking about long-term strategy, right? If you want to lose weight today, sure, go and eat a carrot, or, just go exercise for 5 hours straight, and you'll probably lose a little bit of weight today. But what you want is a long-term strategy, and one of the key ways of doing that is, how do you look at your food? And when you see food, of course you want to enjoy it, and you want to think about all those great things with the burger or whatever it is you're eating. But what is the energy value of that food? Calories is the energy value of that food. All foods have an energy value. Once you learn about food and you read food labels and you figure out about how many calories you're eating, you can kind of look at this hamburger or whatever it is with all the enjoyment in there also. You can also see the energy value of it. And with your goal of losing weight, which is why you're here, this is why we're talking about this, is you want to know the energy value of that food. If you go to the restaurant and you look at the menu, you probably know how much that costs, or about how much it costs. Like, a burger is, I don't know, these days with inflation, maybe it's $15 to $20, whereas maybe it used to be $10. But you know that you're going to a restaurant and you're going to pay $10 to $20 for something you really like. Well, you should know the energy value of that food, and this is how weight controllers manage their day. Okay, hamburger is just one example. We've gone into the kitchen, into the Calorie School studio kitchen a couple times, and we've made a couple snacks basically. But it's just the idea of, what calories am I eating, and how you can calculate that. And once you get good at that, just by practicing, it's not like you have to do extra work. You just look at a food label now and again and maybe look up something. You'll understand as you go out and you don't have a food label with you, you'll understand about how many calories that is. And if you don't, you can look it up. You've probably got your cell phone with you. There's a link in the description to the Lose It app, which I know somebody that uses that and they really like it, and they can manage their calories pretty good on that. Doesn't matter, I'm not promoting that one at all, so you can use whatever you want, but it's just another tool that you can use because you have this fantastic goal of losing weight, and it takes a little bit of effort. So you have to do a little bit of work, especially at first, until you get used to it. And if you want to learn more about how calories are determined, that's in Calorie School. You can read the book. The main thing is knowing, or at least estimating, how many calories are in what you're eating. A lot of people don't really like the idea of counting calories, which it's just like knowing how much money's in your bank account or how much something costs when you buy it. So forget about all the misconceptions about that being bad. You should be aware of what you're eating, if you care. If you don't care, then whatever, just eat whatever you want. But you're here because you want to lose weight, and I'm talking to you because I want you to lose weight. So by knowing how many calories are in there and how many calories that you need about every day, you'll be able to manage that. So, how many calories do you need every day? How many calories do you need every day? The number of calories that you need to eat should be determined almost every time you're going to eat, because you're not a robot. Your schedule is not absolutely exact every day. You don't do the exact same movements every day. So at about 250 calories, you're going to move slightly into the weight gaining side. If you watch one of my other videos, or if you read the Calorie School book, you can see there's graphs in there that show whenever we eat, we cross that line into the weight gaining side. It could be briefly, but I've estimated about 250 calories and you are into that zone, which is fine. We need to go into that zone sometimes. But the farther we go into that zone, the longer it takes us to get out of that zone and back to losing weight, because in order to lose weight, our body has to say, hey, I need energy right now. There's not enough coming from the food that was eaten, so I'm going to get it from what I have, our fat stores, and it comes from other places too, but of course that's the primary energy source in our body if we don't have food that we've consumed. I generally say about 250 to 400 calories, and that's your kind of zone that you can watch for in a low-calorie meal. Not that you can't eat a large meal. You can do that. In the previous videos and in the book, I've talked about that and how to manage that and maybe still be successful, but it is a challenge for that day. If you eat a 250 to 400 calorie meal and then a couple hours later, a 40 to 100 calorie snack, preferably fruit or veggies or something like that that has nutrients and water. We need water every day, by the way. If you hadn't known that, you can get it from your food, and these things help you feel full. There's also fiber in snacks like fruit and vegetables, and fiber is very good at helping you lose weight. Don't eat too much fiber. I'm not telling you to go and eat a bunch of fiber. You'll have problems if you do that. Look it up, though. It's also in the book. We talk about fiber and the dangers of eating too much too soon. But of course, it's very, very important for you. So this helps you feel full. It helps move your food through your body, which we need also, and it gets you ready for that next meal. If you didn't have a snack, and let's say you waited 4 hours, and then you went to go eat, it's going to be pretty hard to eat a small meal at that next meal. You're going to be pretty hungry, so you have to be careful of that. And that's what these small 40 to 60 calorie, it doesn't have to be that, it could be 150 or whatever. It all depends on what you ate before and what you're going to eat after. You just do that through the day. I say 3 small meals, and 2 to 3, I call them jump meals, but they're just kind of like small snacks that carry you through to the next meal. Any low-calorie eating weight loss plan or any healthy eating plan, they don't talk about eating one huge meal in the day or 3 meals per day, which is fine. If you're somebody who has to work and you can't have a snack, then you should do that. You should have 3 full meals because you're working and you have to carry that through. But for weight loss and trying to keep us from going far into that weight gaining side, we want to eat about 5 and maybe even a 6th snack at the end of the day. So 5 meals per day, maybe a 6th. And if they're small, I mean, you're going to feel so good and you're going to be progressing in your weight loss plan. That's the way you do it. I don't care if you exercise, but people use that as an excuse to eat more and then they don't lose weight, which is fine. If you don't want to lose weight, if you just want to get fit, this is how people that get fit do it, and they don't really care about losing weight that much. They exercise more, they eat more, they maybe stay at the same weight, but they get more fit because that's their goal. But if you want to lose weight, you've got to keep your calories low, and you add the exercise on top, and eat more when you need to. Your body will get good at doing what it does a lot. So, if you've gone through your life sedentary, eating more than you need, storing body fat away, your body gets pretty good at that. That's what it thinks is right, and that's how it wants to stay. So when you start lowering your calories, your body does not like it. Okay, your body has not done it before, or is just not used to it, and it doesn't like it. So you have to struggle through that. There's no way around it. You find a way, exercise, whatever you want to do, but your body wants to do what it's used to doing. So let's change what it's used to doing. This is how long-term weight control is achieved. You get your body used to doing what you want it to do. So in all this low-calorie eating, the result is going to be you getting to where you want to go and hopefully leads to a lifestyle change that keeps you where you want to go, where you want to be, or it keeps you near there. you'll never have a problem with weight control again. That's what I want for you. Thanks a lot for sticking around. Mahalo.